right, well, y'all are seated, so we'll start there together. That looks good to me. Oh yeah, a little crisscross, opening up the hips already. Let's bring our hands to our knees, and so we can have a nice tall spine. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, lengthen the spine, pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale, go ahead and allow yourself to really round, even chin towards the chest. Inhale, open, kind of finding that cat-cow movement so that when we exhale, rounding like an angry cat. Continue inhaling and exhaling, finding that movement, maybe moving the neck more and more as you go. And the next time you find yourself nice and tall and straight, let's stay there. Reach the arms up overhead, side bend towards the right. Press into that right hand and really reach over with the left. Maybe let your right ear drop down towards your shoulder. Come back up through center, and let's do that same thing on the other side. Really pressing the left hand into the ground so you can reach even more with the right hand. Maybe this time the left ear drops towards that same shoulder. Come back up to center and then fold forward. Keeping your hands on the ground or placing your forehead on the ground, whatever flexibility you're finding that you have this morning. Inhale as you come upright. You guys can stay where you are, but I'm going to turn so that I can lean back onto my forearms. Let's just start bringing some core into this right away. Legs up in the air. Oh, a little bit of scissoring down, and then go wide up and back up to the sky. Scissoring down, wide to come up. A few more rounds, waking up that low core. One more time. And then when you come upright, let's come into crisscross again, the other leg closest to your body. Find just about 2 or 3 rounds of that cat-cow. And then a nice tall spine and twist this time to the right. We're staying in that posture for a couple of breaths. Use the hand behind you to really lengthen the spine. Turn towards, you're looking over your back shoulder. Come back to center. And then take your twist the opposite direction. Back to center, we'll fold forward. A few breaths here, and then back to a little bit more core. As you're ready, make your way upright, and again, we'll come back onto the forearms. This time we'll start with the legs a little wide, maybe wider than the mat, knees bent, kind of like a Y here, and then we'll come up together and then back down. Pull that belly in nice and tight. come all the way up over the knees, onto the hands and knees. Just 2 rounds of cat-cow on your hands and knees. And then take yourself right into your downward facing dog. Wiggle out that down dog, walking out as you need, finding a bit of movement. On your next inhale, look to the top of the mat, walk your feet to your hands, come halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees as you need to. Find some twist in this fold so that you're walking your hands around towards each side, stretching out those hamstrings and hips. Making your way back to center, bend the knees generously. Let's round it up 1 vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, reach the arms up. Maybe your gaze shifts up, belly pulled in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, let's fold forward. Take a half lift. Palm the mat, step back to the top of your push-up. Right knee towards the chest. Keep the foot off the ground as you reach back. Take that leg across the body and then kick the leg out to the side. Bring it back to plank. Other side. Left knee to the chest. Straighten it out, don't touch the ground. Cross the body, straighten the leg. Bring it back to plank. On the knees or on the toes, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, up dog or cobra, whatever you're ready for. Down dog. Take another breath in your down dog. And then on an inhale, bring the right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend and stack, open up to the side, press into your right hand, reach through your right foot. On your next exhale, bring your foot to the top of the mat. Warrior 1, drop the back heel, reach the arms up overhead. Sink down into your Warrior 1, pull those shoulder blades down the back. Interlace your fingers behind your back, open the chest, take time for that opening, and then humble your warrior. Right shoulder working to be inside the right knee. Drop the head so your gaze can shift back towards your back foot if that's available. Release your bind, palm the mat either side of your front foot, pop that back heel up so you're in your runner's lunge, and twist open to the right. Left hand stays down on the ground. Bring the right hand back to the ground, drop the back knee, low lunge, reaching the arms up overhead, or they could be in that front thigh as needed. Sink into that front hip so you get a nice big stretch in your left hip flexors. Release your hands to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up. Right knee towards the chest. Lengthen out, don't touch the ground. Cross the body, straighten the leg. Come back to your plank. Left knee to the chest. Lengthen out, don't touch down. Cross the body and straighten the knee. Come back to your plank, lower all the way or part way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Left leg this time, reach it high to the sky, 3-legged, and then bend and stack open to the side. Press into that left hand, reach through the left foot. Release that foot to the top of the mat, drop the back heel, Warrior 1 on the left. Interlace your fingers behind the back, take time to find your chest opening, and then humble your warrior on this side. Dropping the head if it's available, reaching the arms up overhead. release your bind, hands down to the ground. Pop that back heel up so you're in your runner's lunge. Keep the right hand down and twist open to the left. Right hand back to the ground, drop the back knee, come into your low lunge stretch, reaching the arms up overhead or heart center or on the thigh. Find that nice big stretch, right hip flexor. Release your hands to the ground, step back to the top of your push-up. At this time, bring the hips nice and high, downward facing dog. Walk, step, or float, feet to the top of the mat, half lift. Fold. Come to standing, reach the arms up overhead, hands to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Spread those right toes wide, hand to big toe on the right, or you're going to find your knee and keep a really tall, upright posture. Think about leveling the hips, pulling the shoulder blades together. When you release this foot, bring your hand to your hip and sweep that foot back so you can come into your warrior three, hands at your hips so you can feel the levelness of your hips. A little up dog action in the chest, reach through that back foot. Come back to standing, hands at heart center, take a breath. Left side, left hand to big toe, or it might be to the knee. Find your tall spine. Pull the belly in, right? Always you can pull the belly in. We'll release hand to the hip. Sweep that left leg back. Warrior three. Use your hands on your hip bones to feel if you're keeping your hips level or not. Take another breath here. And then come to standing, hands at heart center. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Reach the arms up overhead. Sink the hips, chair pose. Keep going, we're headed all the way down to the ground. Nice slow movement as we sink, sink, sink until we need to come up onto our toes. And then eventually spreading the knees so we can have a seat. Round it all the way down. Lengthen the legs, take a long body stretch. On an exhale, right knee in as you crunch, reach past your leg. Yep. And then lengthen back out. Don't let that right leg come to the ground. And then twist on the next round so you go to the side of that right knee. Yes. Lengthen out. Crunch forward. Lengthen out. Crunch twist. Lengthen out. Crunch forward. Lengthen out. Crunch twist. Two more. Link your breath and your movement. It's straight forward and then twist. One more round. End in a long body stretch and take a breath. Because you know we're going to do the other side. So left knee crunches in, go straight forward. Out, maybe that foot doesn't touch the ground. Crunch twist. Lengthen out. Crunch center on the left only. Lengthen out. Crunch twist. Lengthen out. Straight. Lengthen. Twist. Lengthen. Two more rounds. You got to include the straight and the twist as one round. This is my last one. And a twist, and then take a long body stretch. You guys glad you asked for 4 still? I'm sorry. Hug those knees into the chest. Rock and roll. Come forward over and head through a vinyasa to down dog. I know it. I might need to take that a shirt off too. That's good news. In your down dog, right leg comes up, 3-legged, bend and stack, open to the side. Stay there, or if you're ready for a flip dog or wild thing, Head into that flip dog or wild thing. Beautiful control. Really open the chest. Come back to your three-legged. Step to the top of the mat. Warrior one, I meant to say. Warrior one. Interlace your fingers, open the chest, humble your warrior. This time we're gonna come back up, open into warrior two. So square your shoulders, reach to the hands, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Extended side angle, whether you're coming to the forearm or reaching past, open the top shoulder to the sky, belly pulled in. Left hand down to the ground, back heel pops up, twist to the right. Yeah. Drop the back knee, come into that low lunge, grounded low lunge, reach the arms up overhead. Maybe your gaze starts to shift up, taking this into a bit more of a back foot. Release your hands to the ground, step back to the top of your push-up, hug the right knee in towards the chest, lengthen out, cross the body, straighten out, back to plank, left knee to the chest, lengthen out, cross the body, straighten out, back to plank, through a vinyasa or skip your vinyasa, head to down dog. Okay, other side. Yeah, left leg comes high, three-legged. Bend and stack, open up. Stay there or take a flip dog or wild thing on this side. Chest reaching to the sky, hip bones reaching to the sky. Back to three-legged as you're ready. Step to the top of the mat for warrior one on this side. Interlace your fingers, take a moment, open that chest, and then humble your warrior. Come back upright, open into your warrior two, squaring your shoulders toward the side of the mat. Flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. Belly in, right? Every posture, belly in. Top hand to the ground, back heel pops up, keep twisting towards the left. Sweep that left hand up, drop the back knee, reach the arms up overhead, maybe dropping the head back so you can look overhead. Breathe. Release your hands down to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up, vinyasa or no vinyasa to down dog. Right leg high, three-legged. Bend and stack, flip dog or wild thing. Just here for one breath. Come back to three-legged. Knee towards the same arm. Lengthen it back out. Cross the body, straighten the leg, drop the foot this time so you can open up into that fallen triangle. Reach those hips to the sky. Release that left hand back to the ground. Sweep the right leg high, three-legged. Step to the top of the mat for warrior one. Reach right up and then interlace. Take that moment to open, humble. Come back up, warrior two, open up. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. We're not going down to the ground though. We're gonna come back up and into our wide leg fold. Turn the foot, hands on the hips if that's where you like them. Fold forward. Hands to the ground or anywhere else you might like. It's our first one, so see where you're at. Find your breath. After you find your breath, find your belly engagement. We'll all come halfway up, walk to the top of the mat, keep the left hand down, twist open to the right. Sweep into that grounded lunge, drop that back heel. Find your balance here and bend the back knee without grabbing the foot. So we're just gonna bend that heel up as much as we can, maybe point the toe. It's hard, isn't it? Release hands to the ground, foot down, step back to the top of your push-up and take your vinyasa. Left leg high, bend and stack, wild thing or flip dog on this side, only a breath. Back to your three-legged, knee towards same arm. Lengthen to the sky. Cross the body, straighten the leg, fall in triangle, foot's on the ground. Hips are super high, reach, reach, reach at that top hand. Release, come back to three-legged just for a moment, step to the top of the mat. Warrior one, reach the arms up. When you're ready, interlace. Open, humble. Come back up to your warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. Wide leg fold this round too, so come up, turn the feet, hands wherever you like as you come down, hands wherever you like once you get down. Find your breath. Find your belly engagement. Hands to the ground, walk to the top of the mat. Keep going so the right hand is on the ground, twist to the left. Grounded lunge, back leg drops down. Find that lunge where you're reaching overhead or wherever your hands are going to be. Find your balance and then bend that back knee. It's an even greater balance challenge. Yeah? Release. Take your vinyasa to down dog. From down dog, travel to the top of the mat. Half lift. Fold. Rise. Hands to heart center when you're ready. We're going to come into dancer, so right hand out, left arm might reach overhead, find the inside of your foot, and then find your knee in line with the other one again. Kick into your hand. Maybe you're going to stay upright, maybe you're going to fold forward. Keep kicking, kicking, kicking. Find your breath, find your balance. Whatever your left arm is doing. Release. Step a half step back, reach the arms up overhead, fold forward. Half lift. Place your hands down in front of you so you have space to take a crow pose if you wish, or crow prep. We're going to stay in our crow and breathe. 5, stay there if you can. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll release. Step back to the top of the mat, reach the arms up overhead. Dancer on the left. Left arm out, find the foot. Right arm might reach, find the knee, right in line. Kick into the hand. I've lost my balance on this side. Find your dancer posture. When you release, step a half step back. Reach the arms overhead. Fold forward. So I need that half step or I'm going to be off the mat. Come halfway up. Bring your hands down in front of you. Taking your crow again. You can either play around with holding that for 5 or doing tiny crow push-ups where your arms go up and down even if it's a tiny bit, even if you fall out. Right? We're just challenging ourselves to play around and do something different, or a long hold. And then we'll release from that, step to the top of the mat, reach the arms up overhead as you do so. Hands to heart center. Let's find our breath after that. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Sit down into your chair. Twist to the right. Hands hands might come to heart center. Really use those arms to open up. Watch your knee alignment. Back to center. Twist the other direction. Back to center. We're coming all the way down to the ground, so come up onto those toes when you're ready, as you need to. All of that in a nice, slow, steady movement. Coming all the way down, and go ahead and lie all the way down. Ooh, take a nice long body stretch. Place your hands out like a T. Maybe your palms are on the ground. And then bend your knees so your knees are right over your hips and your shins are parallel to the ground. Spinal twist while you're lowering your legs. Let them hover somewhere over to the right. You decide how far they go down. Come back to center and take that the other way. And yes, we have our arms out there to help us, but we're going to try to use our core to bring the legs up so that you do as little pushing into the arms as possible. Back and forth, nice and slow. We'll do one more side each direction. So wherever you're at, one more each side. And then place the feet on the ground. Set yourself up for bridge. Hands down by your side. Maybe you can raise your heels. Inhale, raise your hips off the ground. Bridge pose. Here we are for 5. Chin away from the chest. A hug, and then roll forward. Come over your legs. Take the vinyasa of your choice or no vinyasa to down dog. Right leg to the sky, 3-legged, bend and stack. If you flip this time, maybe you play around with keeping the right foot hovered off the ground or only the toe touching. What can you do, right? What can we do? Come back, reach the leg overhead, knee to same arm. Inhale, lengthen it back out. Cross the body, straighten the leg out, fall in triangle, or shoot the moon if you're keeping the leg in the air. Back to 3-legged. Warrior 1, step to the top of the mat. Interlace, open the chest, humble. Warrior 2, as you come up, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Straighten the front leg this round as we come into triangle. Reaching out, opening up, pull the belly in. Leg fold again. We can bring the top hand down, turn the foot, and fold forward into our wide leg fold, or yes, have come upright first. Hands to the ground. Let's come halfway up, hands to the hips. Come all the way back up, turn the feet out, sink into your goddess. Maybe goalpost arms. Choose again to bend the back knee without reaching, or maybe you're going to reach for the back foot with one or both hands. Either one, they both do choice, we'll meet in down dog. Left side, reach it to the sky. Bend and stack. Maybe again you're playing around a little bit in your flip dog to only barely a toe touching or that foot hovering. Back to three-legged. Knee to same arm when you're ready. Three-legged. Cross the body, fallen triangle, or shoot the moon. Nice choices. Back to three-legged. Step forward for warrior one. Interlace. Open. Humble. Warrior two. Peaceful. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Wide leg fold. If you choose to come upright, no worries. Come upright and take it, or bring that right hand down to the ground. Wide leg fold. We'll all come halfway up, then hands to the hips, set those knees, come all the way up, turn the feet out, sink into your goddess. Goalpost arms, play around with coming up onto one or both heels. If you do one, of course, do the other side as well. Nice. If you're on your toes, drop the heels, straighten the legs, windmill down, lunge, twist, we open to the left, right hand is on the ground. Low lunge, grounded low lunge, reaching the arms overhead, bending that back knee, maybe finding it. Release in Vinyasa to down dog. Squat if you're playing around with jumping, walking, stepping, however you'd like to get there. Feet outside of the hands, toes turned out, lowering those hips, finding that nice deep squat. We're just going to sit in this for a few breaths. Up overhead, chair pose. This is for our standing balance this time. So let's cross the right ankle over into our figure four. Maybe we'll bring the hands down, maybe the forearms down, maybe the arms wide. Make sure you're getting a nice stretch in your hips, so take whatever you need there, or however low you need to go. Find your breath, find stillness. Try not to let this right leg come down to the ground as we come up into staff pose, knee bent or straight. Sweep it back to warrior three, arms out or somewhere else. And then back to chair. Ooh. That left leg gets a break sort of as it comes into the figure four. And then you take the arms of your choice, the depth of your choice. We want to get that stretch, but we also know we'll be here for a little bit. And then we'll see if we can challenge ourselves to not let the left foot touch the ground as we come into our staff pose, knee bent or straight. Warrior 3, arms of your choice. Back to chair. Have a seat, keep it going down. All the way down. Ooh, let's round it down and take a long body stretch. Fingertips behind the head. Bicycle crunches, you decide if the knees or the heels will touch the ground or if they'll hover. So we're bringing opposite knee and elbow towards each other, back and forth. A nice slow bicycle ride. Cross the right ankle over the left, finding that figure 4. You might need to move that right foot a little more towards the midline. And then on an inhale, we'll come into a figure 4 bridge. So we'll just lift our hips as high as we're able. We're trying to think about level hips, so that right hip, we don't want to let it drop much. Find your breath. And maybe you've got 5 pulses in you. Let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, unwind, take a moment. Left crosses over into that figure 4. Maybe the right foot comes more towards midline. Inhale to take the hips nice and high. First sign of find that. See if you can keep the left hip up. And then 5 of your own pulses. Releasing back down when you're ready. Let's come to Baddha Konasana, so the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. You thought that was going to be a break, but I want you to bring your fingertips behind you and take crunches in Baddha Konasana. Oh, just keep going until you get to a zillion. More wind than I thought. Baddha Konasana crunches. 3 more. And then release the head and shoulders. Really allow your knees to open wide and relax. Maybe your hands are down your side. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Hug the knees in towards the chest. When you're ready, you're going to come forward and over to take your Vinyasa to down dog. We're going to flow one more time through each side. From down dog, reach the right leg high, bend and stand. Flip dog or wild thing, whether you choose to hover or not. Here's your challenge this round. When you come out, I want you to go straight into your fallen triangle or straight into your shoot the moon. So you're basically coming over into that opposite arm and leg. Come back to three-legged, right? Whatever you've chosen to do. Hug knee to nose, hug it in, hug it in. Reach it back out, three-legged. Step to the top of the mat, warrior one. Reach those arms up overhead. Interlace. Open, stay here in a little bit of back bend. Really deepen your bend into your front knee, maybe drop the head. Now humble. Really reach those arms away. Sink the hips. Warrior two as you come up. Keep that knee bent in your peaceful warrior. Come into your extended side angle, any arm variation you might like. Let's be here for about 3 breaths. Come back up to peaceful. This time we'll straighten the front leg. Triangle for 3. Any arm variation you might like. If you like a little bind or half bind. Come out of that and into our wide leg fold, whether you come all the way upright or whether you twist around. 3 breaths in this wide leg fold. Take a half lift, hands to the hips, we'll come all the way up. Turn the feet out, goddess. Let's find goalpost arms. Right knee towards the right thigh. As you come upright, then crunch the other direction. 2 more times each side. So you know we're moving really slowly if we're only doing 3. And then when you come back to center, drop your hips another inch. I know you thought you were going to stand up, and now you will. Stand all the way up, windmill down, twist open to the right. Keep in this twist and drop the back knee. Bend the back knee, find your foot. Release the foot, come into your grounded lunge. So we'll untwist and come forward. We'll bend that back knee again, and this time we're going to find it with the same arm. So I'm getting specific which arm I'm asking you to use. Almost like you're going to dance through this. Reach up and kick into that hand, but also you got to find your balance. So it's tricky, isn't it? Release, take your vinyasa, down dog when you're ready. For the left side, reach the left leg up, bend and stack. So a flip dog or wild thing here, any variation that you're doing. And then your challenge is to come out directly in to your fallen triangle or shoot the moon. Yes, beautiful. Back to your 3-legged. Crunch knee in towards chest. Lengthen back up. Warrior 1. Interlace. We'll stay here for a moment as we open the chest and find a slightly deeper back bend with this hand buckle. Humble your warrior. Come up into your warrior 2. Peaceful. Extended side angle. We have 3 breaths. Any arm placement, bind, whatever you want to do. Back to peaceful, straightening the front leg. Triangle. Again, 3 breaths, so take what you like. into your wide leg fold. Last time in your wide leg fold. Inhale, half lift, hands to the hips, come all the way up, turn the feet out, sink into your goddess. Goalpost arms, come up onto your toes if it's available. And now take your crunch to each side on your toes. Maybe you do that one round, maybe you do that two, maybe you need to drop those heels. See what you can do. We'll eventually all drop the heels if they're lifted and rise up into our five-pointed star. Break out of that elbow. Windmill it down, find your twist to the left. Drop the back knee while you're in your twist and reach for your back foot. Release the foot back down, turn so that you come into your grounded lunge. Same arm is going to reach back for that foot. All right, we're kind of trying to reach the other arm overhead, maybe gaze up just a little bit, kicking into our hand, opening up, finding that balance, and then release to bring the hands down to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up. One last time, we're bringing the right knee into the chest, straightening it out, plank, crossing the body straight, plank with the foot on the ground, left knee to chest, lengthen out, no touch, cross the body, straighten, back to plank, lower all the way down to the ground. Bring your forearms on the ground, coming into your Sphinx posture. Let your heart rate settle as you open your chest here. Maybe let your hip muscles release. Play around with bending the right knee as if your toes are going to touch your head. We aren't using those arms yet, so they're not going to get too close. Think about that right hip bone pressing down into the ground. Release and see how that feels on the other side. Bending the left knee, kind of pointing the toes toward the head, and then think about pushing that left hip bone down to the ground. Release. Come all the way down. Take a breath. We're going to play around with that same thing in Cobra. When we bend the knees, it's a king cobra. I know y'all have seen pictures of that where people can touch the back of their head, right? Wait till you see this. Okay, so find the hand placement that's going to be right for you. And then let's try one leg at a time, and then we'll play with both of them also. So one knee bending, and then you're reaching your head back for those toes. Ay, ay, ay. Release that side. Try the other side. Try to smile, because, hey. Okay, release that. You can come all the way down, or maybe you'll do both feet coming up. Hips got to go down. Oh, that looks good, y'all. Actually looks quite good. And then release and push back into child's pose. Go there slowly. This is going to be the opposite. That's a darn big back bend for me. upright, we gotta come forward. So maybe we're just gonna walk those legs forward, swinging around, and lie down as our last core work. It's a little combo here. It's 3 crunches in a leg, or 3 bicycle crunches in a leg lift, and it's gonna look like this, okay? We're gonna go one side, the other side, and then the third one, we lift that other leg up and down. And then 1, 2, 3, the other leg lifts up and down while we stay upright. 1, 2, 3, and a lift. Now I'm not gonna keep counting because we'll all be at different paces. But if you do 3 bicycles, you'll get that other leg in. One more round some way, somewhere. I don't know. Ish. Release into a long body stretch. Let your ribs come off the ground, opening up your belly. And then let's fold forward, opening up the hips and the low back. Gently come upright. Let's take a pigeon on each side. So sweep a leg back. Okay. We're going to be here for 10 breaths, and you might divide your breaths up so that you're staying upright for 5, lowering for 5, or maybe you need all 10 in one direction or another. Right? We all might need slightly different things, so you decide, and I'll start counting some breath. That's about halfway, so if you're changing, this would be a good time to do that. To stay here a little bit longer, then I want you to do that. You know what we're doing. We're the same thing on the other side. So stay longer if you need to, or if you're ready, you're going to sweep the other leg, that back leg forward and switch. Or yes, down over in between. You all know what you're doing. About 10 breaths here too, maybe a little longer. I don't count that transition breath. About 5 breaths. back opener here, and that is happy baby. Holding the outside edges of the feet, the knees towards the outside of your ribs. So pause here for a moment. And then really push that right knee down so it's like touching the mat or almost touching, or maybe you have to rotate a little bit, give on the left so that it can come really far down. And then release that and do that on the other side. And perhaps go back and forth like that a few times, giving the individual side a little bit deeper. When you've done that as many times as you might like, come back to center so you can bring both knees down. And then as you're ready, gradually release. Maybe you'd like to give yourself a hug and rock side to side before making your way into Shavasana. Maybe find just a bigger, deeper breath again and a little bit of movement in your fingers and toes. A long body stretch perhaps, or hugging the knees in. And then take a moment to come onto your favorite side. Let yourself pause there. Into seated. Hands at heart center, or keep them grounded on your legs somewhere. Let's take 3 deep breaths together, whether you choose to release through your mouth on the exhale or not. But breathing together to inhale. Releasing. 2 deep breaths like that. Thank each of you for coming today, sharing your practice with me and with each other.